Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome along to the Central Queensland Capras live stream of the Under-13s clash between the Gladstone Raiders and the Central Highlands Under-13 boys. We're looking forward to it. Cam Stallard in the chair to call all the action this afternoon alongside Walson Carlos, who'll join us. Wal, good afternoon to you.
Yeah, afternoon, Cam. It's great to be here, mate. Nice overcast day here in Rockhampton, and it's good to see we've got two junior sides down here. It looks like the Gladstone Raiders playing the CH side. Yeah,
looking forward to this one, which is going to kick off at 5:15, which is right about now. The two teams are ready to go, so we'll just wait for the referees to make their way out into the middle of the field, and then we'll be underway. Let's run through the two teams. The Gladstone Raiders will be wearing what looks to be brothers' jerseys. They got the brothers' colours anyway, and the Central Highlands side will be in the sky blue and blue kit. So we'll run through the teams. The home side on the board is the Gladstone Raiders. They'll run out the fullback Tane Vandermark. The two wingers are Keedan Dowdle and Kyle Whittingham. The two centres, Nyasha, Mhuka and David Crapp. The halves are Taj Fleming and Tase Black. Trevor King and Braith Smith are the two front rowers. Jayden Boston in a dummy half. Rhys Chadburn and Khodi Docherty are the two back rowers alongside Kyle O'Dwyer. And a massive bench here for the Raiders. Riley Powell, Tama Hodgson, Ryder Huth, Jack Alexander, Lincoln Barrow, Tyler Peckham-Harris, Malakai Tuakura, Ethan Lett, Will Lenz, Diesel Costigan, Harry Kentwell, Alex Davison and Honi Harris. They round out the 26 they've got, the Gladstone Raiders, which is a big number for a trial, but as we said, it is a trial match for the Central Highlands side. The fullback is Dylan Fox, the two wingers Julius Malone and Ethan James. Braden Conway and Jet Williams are the two centres. Sam Chick and Lockie Nix are in the halves. Sam Caranicholas and Sky Macano up front. Tommy Green in a dummy half. Lawson Walters and Saxon Mitchell, the two back rowers alongside Carson Lawrence, and on the bench, Kylan Tranberg and Jayden Khodi. Robbie Peters, I believe, is coaching the Gladstone Raiders side, and Mark Francie, the Central Highlands side. I think it's a great occasion that the two junior sides are playing in the curtain raiser, Walson, to the Capras Ipswich game, which is later tonight.
Yeah, excellent initiative here by the CEO, Peter White. Cam, it's great to see these young players getting to play on the big stage. They'll be able to go home and watch their game back on the live stream, so it's really exciting for them to hear their name called and get out there and strut their stuff.
Good crowd starting to make their way to Browne Park in Rockhampton, ready for this Easter Thursday clash. What do you think of Thursday night footy here at Browne Park, Wal?
I think it suits Easter, definitely. So you can get the footy out of the way. It's really good that the Ipswich Jets have agreed to come up on the Thursday night, and gives everyone a full Easter weekend. And the Capras boys obviously coming off about a four-day turnaround from the Mackay Cutters game. It's going to be tough on them physically, but I'm sure that the coach, Kim Williams, has given them a light load for this week, and they'll be ready to go. Ipswich will definitely pose some problems for them here with their free-running style. Looks like we're going to get a dry track, hopefully, if the wind stays up, and should be a good game, Cam.
The field's looking magnificent here at Browne Park. It's the third home game of the season for the CQ Capras. The Ipswich Jets come off a four-day turnaround as well after taking on and defeating it was the East Tigers last week, I believe, 32 points to 26. Big injury, though. Marmon Barber, I believe, isn't on the plane up here this afternoon. I think that he'll be rested from all reports. He was initially named, but I see on Cura Live this afternoon he's not on there.
Yeah, it's a big outcam. I did see him named there, and there was some conjecture on Facebook about it from the Ipswich fans, and they couldn't believe that he was named. So I think it might be a quite a serious injury that he sustained in that clash. Both sides wouldn't be happy with the way they finished the game. The Capras, in Kim Williams' words, they blew it. I watched it on the live stream last week. They had that game, and they let Mackay march down, score under the post. It was a relatively soft try, and then the penalty, obviously before full time, cost them there. And they gave away a number of other penalties when they had a chance to maybe push for the win later in the game. And the Ipswich Jets, they got out to a huge lead in their game and gave up a lot of points late.
Well, amazingly, last week, having a look at the statistics, the Capras completed in the second half at around 88%. And that's a massive completion rate. With that sort of completion rate, you should be winning the game convincingly. But they just gave away those late penalties, particularly late in the count, within the Mackay red zone, and unfortunately that's where it just unraveled for the Capras.
Yeah, they played quite well. I think they're playing really good footy. I saw a little bit of their round 1 win against East, with the field goal at the end, and I think they're playing pretty good footy this year, but they've just got to be a little bit smarter, and those smart plays can make all the difference, and they're coming up against a side that in Ipswich that play a totally different style to everyone else in the competition, but they have got 2 very smart coaches in the Walker brothers, and they do tend to play smart footy. So the Capras are going to have to be on their game tonight.
Well, I think they've been at the helm for over at least 170 games, I think, at the Ipswich Jets now, the Walker brothers. So they are a very, very handy duo. And you just look at the team sheet. I mean, positional-wise, the numbers are all over the place.
Yeah, they have a tendency to do that, which can put the commentators out a little bit. But they
tell you what, they don't look after us at all, do they?
No, they do stick with similar numbers. That one of the features of the Ipswich team is they don't have a lot of turnover in their side from week to week. They do tend to pick a squad of 20 and they stick with those players and they back them to the hilt. So they play, like we said, it's a bit of a freelance style. It's a bit of a freestyle footy, but there is a method to the madness. They do like to keep the ball in possession, and time in possession is a big stat that they work off. It's not a stat that the rest of the competition measures very frequently, but they like to keep the ball in their hands as long as they can.
Let's talk about the other 2 teams doing well in the competition at the moment. The Burleigh Bears, they're sitting on top of the ladder in the Intrust Super Cup, and also the North Devils. Now, we saw the Devils in action 2 weeks ago here at Browne Park, and well, they're good. And of course, the inclusion of the former capper himself, Guy Williams, doing a really good job off the bench. But another big pickup from them was from the Redcliffe Dolphins, their fullback Jack Ahern, who really played well and was very versatile. And he was unpredictable here. He turned up everywhere. So I think that he's a big inclusion. And I think the Devils are going to be one of the teams to beat this year.
Yeah, Norths are definitely one of the sides to beat. They get those players back from the Broncos. Got some really handy players there.
That was one that played Toddy Murphy in the halves.
Yeah, Todd Murphy's a class player. He reminds me of players in the past that have transitioned from the Intrust Super Cup to the NRL. A player like Shane Perry, who went on to win a competition with the Brisbane Broncos. He's a professional player. He's got that ability. Whether he gets the opportunity or not through injury with the Broncos halves, it's certainly not as strong in the Broncos halves as they have been in previous years. So if he keeps doing the right thing for the North Devils, he might get his opportunity sooner rather than later.
Not sure what we're waiting on here. I'm assuming we're waiting for referees to make their way out. We can't find the referees, but I don't know where they are at the moment, but that's what we're waiting on, I guess. The 2 teams are out ready to run on, so looking at the trusty CEO Pete White there, he doesn't look too panicked, so obviously he knows what's going on.
No, we might have a bit of a later start than we anticipated here, Cam, but how's it been going out at the Central Highlands in the first couple of rounds of the competition? Has it kicked off out there yet?
No, we had a couple of trad trials 2 weeks ago where we selected the teams ready to go for the CQ Capras Junior Carnival, which is coming up in Blackwater on the 12th and the 13th of May, and we'll see the 4 region. We'll see both Gladstone and Central Highlands, both these teams out, who will compete against Rockhampton and Central West in the 13, 14 and 16 boys. But it's going along well, Wilson. Obviously, it's a bit hit and miss with the juniors, as you know, but we've got a good group of kids that are playing footy, and I think that they're going to grow. Our little kids, our mini mod numbers are just absolutely exploding at the moment. There's that many little kids playing footy, which is really good to see. It's what you want. But what about Rockhampton yourself?
You have been following the results, so I haven't been out to a local league game as yet. I'm hoping to get to one this weekend or next weekend when it kicks in. So, but with the results, brothers, the defending premiers, the Rockhampton Brothers side, which is coached by Scotty Munns, who's a new coach. A little bit different. The premiership winning coach Damien Seabold took on the under-20s Capras job, and he's been very successful so far. I think they've had 2 wins,
2 and a 1, and a 2-point loss here.
Yeah. So they got skinned here, and he wasn't really happy about that. But the new brothers coach Scotty Munns has had a flying start. He's had 2 big wins. I think they're going to be a side that'll be really hard to beat.
Back to back.
Yeah, well, they're going to give it a shake anyway. Emu Park have recruited heavily, but there's been some strange results. So in the first round, the Norse Chargers, who made the final last year, got absolutely towed up by Yeppoon Seagulls. I think it was 40-0 or something like that in that vicinity, and then turned it around the next week and beat Emu Park Emus 38-0. So that was a bit of a turn up for the Cards, but there are some very competitive sides, and I expect once it settles down, we'll have some close games.
I suspect, though, for Easter this week it'll break. The competition will break for the Easter period, and then they'll be back next week. Yeah,
I think so. I think they have a bit of a break, so that'll be good for the players. Have a bit of a break, spend some time with your family, and come back and have a crack. I know the Billawheeler Panthers have started off really well as well. I think they've got 2 wins on the board from 2 games. So they beat the Fitzroy Sharks, and then they beat Gladstone Brothers at home last week. And just having a look at their roster and some of the names that are getting tossed about, they look like they're going to be a bit of a chance this year, Cam.
You're with Cam Stella and Wilson Carlos here on the CQ Capras live stream. We're still waiting for a start in this under-13s game. We're not sure what the hold-up is here. We don't have, I guess, a line of communication down in the field either, because we're sitting on top of the roof here this afternoon. A couple of shout-outs. Make sure you hit us up on Facebook. Rockhampton Leagues Club Capras is where you head. A big shout-out to Matty Pacey. He said he's mowing the lawn, so I know regularly likes to cut his neighbour's grass, but I think he's cutting his own this afternoon. So a big shout out to you, Matty Pacey. He's listening in. He asked for us to make it interesting. I think we've had a relatively good start talking football as always. Also, let's talk about the big game next week in Gladstone, the Titans and Manly NRL game. It was good to see last Sunday in Toowoomba some Sunday Arvo footy, over 7.5 or nearly 8,000 rolled in through the turnstiles at Toowoomba, and I think it's going to be a massive occasion at Marley Browne next Sunday.
Yeah, it will be, and congratulations to all those people down in Gladstone who made it happen. I think it's sensational. So any of the regions like that can get the money through the government and the local council to get a game, and it's a unique opportunity. Obviously, the Titans are only taking away their home games just purely for the fact that they've got the Commonwealth Games on, and that only happens every 4 years. So, and obviously it doesn't happen in Australia all the time. So it's a very unique opportunity, and it's great to see that Central Queensland has got one of them, and Gladstone have got a really good field down there, and they've got really good support for NRL, so I think it's going to be excellent.
And I'll tell you what, I think even though they've only done it just for the Commonwealth Games this year, I think it's something they've got to look into the future to do. While you've got some great venues right here at Browne Park's one, Mackay's another one that's got the stadium and the infrastructure to be able to do it. And I think it's something they've got to persist in doing in future years. I mean, 7.5, 8,000 people rolling through the gates at Toowoomba, that's sometimes bigger than some of the Sydney crowds.
It is bigger than some of the Sydney crowds that are rolling in, particularly if it rains down there, or there was some pretty low crowds. But they have to persist with it. They have to look at initiatives to keep growing the game. As we see the boys running onto the field there, it looks like we've got Neil Beckett's going to referee here, so he's stepped into the breach.
Yeah, obviously it has been a referee that we've been waiting for. So anyway, we'll see how Beckett goes. We'll test him out anyway. So looking forward to this one. It's getting a little bit darker here at Browne Park. Lights have come on, but I know that's going to be a big thrill here for these kids in the under-13s.
What are your thoughts this year on the new Hastings Deerings under-20 competition, Cam? How do you think it's going so far?
Yeah, I think it's a great idea. I think it's an awesome idea that the kids get to stay back where they come from, I guess. Grow up, play footy where they've grown up and play with their mates. Great opportunity, particularly here in the CQ region. Obviously, you've got the mining industry and a lot of the resource industry in Gladstone. Even Rockhampton has a lot of, a lot of trade gets out of the resource industry. So therefore, I think it's a terrific idea that the QRL and New South Wales Rugby League and the NRL have adopted, and to replace the National Youth Championship, the Holden Cup. I think particularly for the Capras, 2-1 at the moment, and are doing well, and it gives local boys here a shot of playing that elite football at age 18, 19, 20. I'm a big believer that unless there's only a special kind or right to play that pinnacle foot, that elite Intrust Super Cup level footy at that age, and I think it's good they brought the under-20s in. So anyway, we'll get underway. We're finally underway here in this game, the under-13s clash here at Browne Park. We're looking forward to this one though. Gladstone have got the ball at the moment, and they're running towards the League Club side of the field, and that's big Trevor King who brings the ball forward for the Gladstone Raiders. They'll play it to Boston, and then Smith, another front rower here, just bringing the ball forward. So as they play it, Boston once again back on the inside. Big fella King. It's his second hit up of this set of 6 already. Inside CH territory now. Boston through King again. Smith, that is, sorry. So the front row, that was number 20, sorry, and Tuakura brought that ball forward. So it goes out the back. It would have gone to the half back there. He puts the kick on the winger. Unfortunately, bounced off Whittingham and picked up by CH. So they're going to bring it in. It'll be a changeover. So it was the last tackle, so it was a knock-on. So they'll play at 10 out. Already, Walston, I can notice a size difference once again. I noticed this last year in the CQ Junior trials here at Browne Park, that our CH boys are just a little bit smaller than everyone else.
Yeah, young Kings had a good start to the game, a couple of runs there. The boys will have to consider their 5th tackle options because they're running into a fairly stiff breeze, the Gladstone boys. So as you saw with that kick, they're probably not going to make many yards kicking against the wind, whereas I think the CH boys, if they get alert to it, the fullback's playing pretty shallow. They might be able to put a kick down there and play some field position. So
it's in the hands of Skyma Kyono now, and he is working his way forward and he'll be tackled on halfway. Plays for Emerald Brothers in the Central Highlands side. So they work through. That's Nix. Gets it away to Cara Nicholas. Now there's a couple of Sams. I think there was about 5 Sams in the Brothers White side last year in the grand final. So lucky I didn't have to call that one. That would have been fun and games as Nix gets the ball away. Chick boots it. A big kick from him. Picked up in the wind. The fullback's Vandermark has picked it up. Only a couple of metres out from his own line. He brings it forward. It's a good carry from the young fullback there. And he'll play it 10 out from his own line. They'll work forward. One-on-one contact there. Cara Nicholas muscling up and with the assistance of Kano puts the Gladstone Raider to ground. So out of dummy half it was Black again. Boston I should say. Who worked the ball away. So this will be the 3rd tackle now. Boston turns it on the inside. Be one of the second rowers there. He'll carry the ball forward. 25 away, not a bad defensive set of 6 here from the Central Highlands side. They'll work the line through now and Tuakura now bringing it through. And he'll be wrapped up. 15 short of the halfway line now. They work it through the field into Black. Big kick downfield again. The fullback's deep though, and Dylan Fox. Oh, shot though.
Great
shot.
The
Raiders from their headgear. The number 4, I think it might be in David Crapp. Is it the number 4? It is David Crapp who put that shot on the fullback. So CH try and work out of their own end here of the field. Chick brings it through, and it is now into Walters. And he's tackled right on halfway. They're about 18 metres in from the eastern side of the field here at Browne Park. Nix gets it away. Mitchell, centre field. And he'll be wrapped up. Gets it away. That's Nix back on the inside. Kano hitting a line. But he can't get the ball through.
He's been good, Kayano, in the opening exchanges. He's been really busy in defence, and as we see the 5th tackle option here, they're using the kicking game quite well. This is going to pull up in the in-goal here, so if they can get a good chase on it.
Which they have. They're really putting some pressure on the fullback, Vandermark. And he's wrapped up. So they're going to work their way out of this end here. 2.5 minutes gone in the first half. Playing it once again. Throws the dummy in here. Let's bring it out. CH really muscling up there. Carson Lawrence coming along to support Sam Chick. 8 short here. Still worked through. They haven't been able to make too many metres there. Only made about 5 or so. This is the 4th tackle, I think, and they haven't been able to get out of their own 20 yet. So at a dummy half was Boston. They're giving it away. He's picked up Kano, comes around. So they play it. Boston, right side. They'll bring it up. This is the last, and they've been caught on the last. 25 metres away.
Yep. Cam, impressive set there by the CH boys. They've really bridged up in defence. They've kept them inside the 30-metre line. They take over 28 metres out, and they've gone to Kayano on the short side. He's looked likely. He's looked very likely. So let's see what sort of structure they have in attack.
They haven't gone wide either side, though. They've certainly played 10 in on each side so far. So that was the lock forward. Lawrence hits it straight up the guts. It's about 12 away. Playing it through to Nix. He'll get the ball away, Mitchell. Mitchell then in the hands then of Williams. Williams gets the ball away to the winger, James. He'll throw it back inside. Williams once again. Into the hooker, Green. Tommy Green will run it. And he'll be wrapped up. And he's about 8 metres short of the line here. Playing it once again. Curry now acting half to Chick. Chick gets it away then into Walters. Walters brings it along. They had the numbers on the right if CH went there, but they've decided to wrap it up. So as Green has a bit of a look, he's going to go back to the open side once again. Nix then to Kayano. Here we go. He hits through. Can he get through? Can he get there? Oh, they've muscled up here the Gladstone defence, and they've done well to keep him short.
Oh, they're short left side. They've gone right.
Last one, they've gone to the right. Chick throws a dummy. They've pulled him to ground. And at the end of the day, they get out of jail because they did go to the right side there, well.
Yeah, well, they had a 5-man overlap. I'm not joking, Cam. They had a 5-man overlap on this left-hand side, but young fella's gone to the right-hand side. He didn't have a look to the left-hand side, but they look likely, this CH side. They're really muscling up in defence, and they are short on the bench. I think they've only got 2 bench players, and Gladstone have got around about 10 bench players. So
well, they've got half a Gladstone on their bench.
Yeah, it's a big bench, but definitely, I've been impressed by both of these sides in the early exchange. There's been good completion rates. I don't know if I've seen an error yet. There might have been one on the end of that kick in the first set, but that was on the end of a kick. But they're really good completion rates. We're just going to see what shape they can throw at him here. Oh,
that's right. I don't think he obstructed any players there. He did surrender, and Gladstone will be tackled 30 out. So that's Boston once again. So they kick it on the last. Here we go. Still the last. Oh, it might have gone through the fingers there of the winger, but I like his thinking, Kyle Whittingham. It's the second time he's tried to attack again. So Green to Nick, sorry. And then they give it away, and that'll be Fox in the line to take the ball for the Central Highlands side. They are inside Gladstone territory. So Chick will run the ball, run it back on the inside. But again, a good tackle there from the 5'8" in Fleming for the Gladstone Raiders. Green to the right-hand side of the field. We have a Falcon there. I thought it might have come off the headgear of the CH side. They're not going to play scrums, I think. We're just going to do a changeover. Oh, no, I don't know what the call is there from our exemplary referee, Neil Beckett.
Yeah, he's a standing referee, but he's doing a pretty good job. So they are going to pack the scrum down there. It's an interesting age level, the 13 years age level, Cam. You know, they're transitioning from mod footy into the international footy. So if you can find a couple of kids that can identify a quick play the ball and run out of dummy half, that's probably the key. Because at the moment they look to still play off a pivot at times.
Well, they of course play a 5 metres, and the safe play code exists here in the competition. That no longer involved at the state junior carnival, so they tap out at the Central Crows level now. So these two teams, they will meet in about a month's time in Blackwater for the Central Queensland Junior Trials, just over a month, 6 weeks time. But you're right, while there's some good footy played there. We're 7 minutes through the game, so now a couple of errors creeping in. Still 0-0 on the scoreboard if you've just joined us. It's Cam Stallard, Walsh and Carlos with you here, calling this under-13s curtain raiser to the Capras and Ipswich game, which is a little bit later on tonight here at Browne Park. We're expecting a bumper crowd for this Easter Thursday clash. Carson Lawrence now. He's from the Dysart Bulls. He's with it and is wrapped up. So they'll run the ball once again. Walters playing in this left edge here, this left back row position. 2 boys on the bench are ready to go. They might be coming on.
They're still short if they go left here, but they've got to get the crispness of the passing. He had a 2-man overlap there, but it's just about the ability to get the ball in your hands and pass it out quickly.
So it's Nix again through to Lawrence. He kicks it to the right-hand side of the field. Bit of pressure on the winger. He's let it bounce. It's going to be picked up on the boot from the Central Highlands. They've dived on it once again, and well, it's been touched there from the Central Highlands side. What's the call going to be there from Neil Beckett? Is he going to award the scrum to Central Highlands? No, I don't know. He's pointing towards the line. Well, it was touched there from Gladstone, so I'd say it would be...
Oh, I think it was, but I thought it might have been a knockback, and I can see the Gladstone halfback's got the ball in his hands, so I think that's the right call there. He's knocked it back. He's gone.
I thought it was a knockback too, but obviously maybe CH have lost it down on the far side. So
yeah, they went to regather it there, Cam, and they lost the ball. So it looks like a mistake there. So he's let it go. Okay, so it might have been off the shoulder.
Anyway, I'll give a big rap to our under-20s coach Neil Beckett, though. He has picked up the whistle in place of no referee and said I'll do it, which is good because we really appreciate that. No referee, no game. You know the rules.
That's it. You haven't got a ref, you don't have a game. So
we do appreciate the work that Neil's doing. He's doing a pretty good job. No penalties yet. So 0 on the scoreboard, about to go past the 10-minute mark of this game. So they work their way forward. And they'll be wrapped up 30 metres away. Playing it to Boston. Through the hands they go now, the Gladstone Raiders side. And they'll be muscled up about 40 metres short of their own line. This is the last one, so again, CH have been able to keep them down their end. Kick out a dummy half from Boston. Bounces around the few times, picked up by Ethan James, the winger. Oh, he puts a step on Docherty. And Docherty it is, sorry. So they play it. Tommy Green out of dummy half. Here they go. Bringing the ball forward, and they'll be tackled just short of halfway. Looking to play it. Acting half was Jet Williams, and they will bring it through Lawrence. Working it forward. Inside Gladstone territory they are now. So Green will go through to Nix. Nix then into the hands of Fox, who's in the line, but he's going to be picked up, driven back, and a great tackle there from the Gladstone Raiders. They play it once again to Green to the right side. Chick lines up, throws a dummy once and twice. Oh, what a pickup. He's put it on the boot. That's play on. Oh, not in the eyes of the referee. Oh, he's going to play on anyway. Thought that it hadn't touched the ground yet, so would have been a very interesting passage of play. He had the right idea, but they get out of jail again here, the Gladstone Raiders, and a good game of footy so far for this curtain raiser. So
yeah, I've been impressed with young Sam Chick, the number 6 for Central Highlands. He's been great on that right-hand side, and he just threw a pass that went behind the centre there, but he did well to reach back and almost catch it, and looked like he put it on the boot. And standing referee Neil Beckett's called play on, and now the Raiders have taken the ball out to round about their 40-metre line. So a lot of the footy's being played in this middle section, or definitely Central Highlands have been dominating possession there, Cam.
Yes, certainly, I agree. We've got to say a big thanks to the One Life Centre as well. They are the match day sponsor for tonight's game. So that is the One Life Centre. A big thanks to them, match day sponsor here of round 4 of the Intrust Super Cup on Easter Thursday. The main game tonight at 7 o'clock is between the CQ Capras and the Ipswich Jets. We'll have that live here on Capras TV. But it's been a good game of footy in this first half here in the under-13s curtain raiser. 0-0. Good run there from Lawrence. And he's wrapped up and put on the deck. 45 metres away, Green. Through then to Chick. Chick throws it back on the inside, then to Kano. He breaks straight through him, but a good tackle there from the hooker. He's grabbed on. And Jayden Boston, which I've been impressed with his work in a dummy half. He's still going. What a carry from Kano. He's still going, and he'll finally be put on the deck. He's ran about 30 metres, a great run there as they go back to Chick on the right-hand side of the field. He throws another ball, finds the centre once again. He'll get it to the winger, and the winger wasn't there. I don't know what that centre was doing.
Wow.
Braden Conway didn't want to score the try himself.
Yeah, just very unselfish from young Conway, but he's butchered that. There's no other way we can put it, Cam. He was basically over the line, and then he tried to be unselfish and pass the ball to the winger for a try, but he'll learn from that. When you get over the line, just dive over and put the ball down. That's something he'll learn from.
One of the things you won't regularly see. Usually you're too busy complaining on the footy field about boys not passing you the ball, not passing it because they don't want to try.
Yeah, extremely unselfish play there. Look, they're back on the attack again here, and they've got numbers on the left-hand side. He's gone back inside.
Yeah, Jayden Khodi now on for the Central Highlands side. From the Emerald Brothers side here. This 13 side from CH is looking quite good. Green it is, getting away. Kano! Under the posts. Scores for the Central Highlanders side to make it 4 points to 0 in favour of the Highlands side. 12 minutes gone.
Yeah, nice try there by Kano. It wasn't an easy pass to catch, but it was a little bit above him, but he kept his eye on the ball and then put on some footwork as he was catching it and dived under the post. He's been pretty dominant in attack and defence. He's a bigger lad, and he looks like he's got some ability, Cam.
It certainly does. You can see it from him. I know he played really well. He was a feature of the under-13s grand final last year out in the Highlands and deserved that try. He's been certainly motoring up the pitch.
Looks like they're not going to kick conversions. It is a trial match, of course, so the Gladstone Raiders are going to bring the ball back up to halfway, and they're playing 30-minute halves, so we're about halfway through it. And the lights are really starting to kick in here at Browne Park. Really looking forward to this Intrust Super Cup game tonight. The Ipswich Jets, one of my favourite teams to watch, going against, of course, the Central Queensland Capras.
I'm looking forward to the game for sure. For sure, the Capras wanting to bounce back after last week's game that they probably should have won. But nevertheless, as we said, we like a good comeback, Wal. And tonight's the night. I'm feeling it in the air.
I'm just looking forward to seeing some exciting footy. You know, the Jets, they went down first round to Papua New Guinea, and then they've had 2 really credible wins. One against probably the competition favourites, Townsville Blackhawks, and then last week they won against East. So even though they gave up a few tries later in the game, so it'll definitely be an exciting game. They play a different brand of footy, as we say, and looking forward to seeing how the Capras go against them.
Tell you what, while the one thing also I'm looking forward to with the Jets is Carno's away once again. He's still going. Yeah, again, muscling up.
He's a real powerhouse, isn't he, Cam?
He certainly is. So he'll play it to green. Back to Nix. He's going to kick it. Here we go. An open try line. If the ball sits up for Chick, which it does, it'll be the second try of the afternoon to Central Highlands in as many minutes, really. 3 minutes between tries, really, at the 15-minute mark of the game, and Highlands are 8, leading Gladstone 0.
Yeah, they've gone back-to-back, and great work there by number 19, Nix. He saw the space in behind. They've actually stripped them short of numbers a lot of times on the left-hand side there, CH's left-hand side and Gladstone Raiders' right-hand side, and they've had numbers there, and he had numbers again. It was probably a 3-man overlap, but he went for the kick. The fullback wasn't in play, and the 5'8". Well done.
So, as we said, there's no kicking. And we're going to have the experienced referee in Tanner Howard, usually running around with the 20s, but I know he's the reserve referee tonight for the Q Cup, but he's picked up the whistle, so...
Oh, it's good to see him getting a run. This would probably be the best referee that these boys would have experienced. He looks like he's up in those higher levels. So
fortunately a knock on. So here we go. Gladstone will pick the ball up, and they'll have their first real shot inside Central Highlands territory here, as Boston will play it. And that is Hodgson now on for the Gladstone Raiders, and he'll be wrapped up 25 metres short of the line. He'll play it through to Boston, and they'll work it through Peckham-Harris now. He's going to be wrapped up about 16 metres short. Boston again fires it through. That's Huth. Huth then to the front rower Smith, and he'll look for this quick play of the ball. So they'll play it back. That's Boston out of dummy half. Scoots 1-2. Will get the ball down. He will. No, he doesn't. He loses it over the line. And must have been just short if they're going to play on there. So,
wow, referee was in perfect position there, Cam. So he must have saw it. It was a great run by Boston, weaving in and out. As I said, he identified a quick play of the ball or some loose markers there. Marker defence, and he ran through and he reached out to score the try, but unfortunately he must have got hit out, or he's dropped it right at the end.
Karen Nicholas, great run from him, and just making metres here, Central Highlands, as easy as that. Nix then gets a good ball away in the middle of the field. I think it might be between his teammate Lawrence. Another offload. Nix once again through the hands they go. They've got numbers here if they can keep going. Khodi now running back on the inside, offloads again back to Nix. Then the Chick has a little bit of a look around and give it back to Karen Nicholas. They're still making metres here, Central Highlands. Another offload, but this time it goes to the Gladstone Raiders. So a bit of a passage of play there for the Highlanders, but they lose the footy, and Huth's now picking up for Gladstone once again, and unfortunately lost the football. So a scrum will pack in here. I'm really looking at the like of this Central Highlands side. They're up 8-0, and they could just make metres like that. Well,
yeah, they're throwing the footy around, and Gladstone boys are starting to get a little bit tired. Just the young fella there just switching off when he got up to play the ball. You've got to stand up with the ball now, and they are cracking down on that. So he just tried to place it on the ground and lever himself up with the ball and fumbled it. So, but yeah, they are starting to some great junior footy here. They're starting to pass the ball around the CH side, and Nix has been at the centre of most of it actually.
So as he steps 1 and 2, I'll work it through here. Fox it is. I'll bring it forward 32 metres away from the line. That's Green through to Lawrence once again. wraps it up, throws it out the back. Green's got it again. Chick wasn't expecting it. He'll finally get it. And then they'll give it away. Conway picked up. It'll be a penalty, though. He was lifted, and, of course, in the under-13s, the rule is that you can't lift under the safe play code. It'll be our first penalty tonight, 20 minutes into the game.
Yeah, really clean shot there from young Huth. But, yeah, he did lift him, and he's got under him again. Oh! I don't know if he'll get away with that one. That was just your classic spear tackle, so he might be in a bit of a talking to here.
Yeah, you can't be doing that in the under-13s, unfortunately. I think he's been told he can't be doing that.
He's going to stay on the field, which is good because it's a trial, but hopefully if they run at him straight this time, he can find a tackle where he's not lifting him in the air.
Well, this is Braden Conway now. We'll work it forward. He's gone around the legs this time. He's gone the safe option. And he'll be wrapped up 8 metres short of the line. Green through to Nix once again. And on the inside, that's Walters. Brings it forward. They're wrapped up 5 metres away from the line. Green has a bit of a look as they're slow to play it. Looks like they're going to go to the left. Nix is there once again. He'll link in. Has it been touched by the Gladstone side? No, picked up by Central Highlands. Knock on Central Highlands. So it was touched there by the Highlands side. Gladstone get a chance. 8-0 is the score. Central Highlands ahead.
Yeah, some great rushing defence there by Tane Vandermark, the fullback. He came up in the line. He wasn't trailing behind the line, and he put the pressure on and forced the error. But, Nix, he's a real distributor. He's a genuine halfback. He's wearing number 19, but he's a genuine 7, and he's been really good for Central Highlands tonight. Yeah,
the only reason they don't have a full set of jerseys, that's why he's wearing number 19, well. So, not off the bench at all. We've only got the 15 here today, but I think the debut coach Mark Francie, it's his first year in the job with 13s. He's had a bit of Capricornia schoolboys experience and is taking on the club coaching role. The coaching role.
Here he goes, Huth.
Oh, and he's pulled down there. He'll be penalised though. It was under the armpits. That's the call from the referee. But Huth did run away with it, and unfortunately there for Khodi, he was pinged, but he does just save the try.
Yeah, I mean, he's given away a couple of penalties. They don't normally get away with that, tapping it on the knee, but he's got away with it there, young Huth. But he looks like a real goer in attack and defence. Of course, he did those 2 lifting tackles, but he showed a lot of strength in those, and that was a great run, just busting through numerous tackles there, Cam.
Here we go. Peckham-Harris plays it through then to Boston. Boston on the inside, then back on to Smith. He runs forward here, and they're inside CH territory again. They're trailing 8 points to 0, the Gladstone Raiders. They'll want to get on the board just before half-time. Peckham-Harris again, wrapped up 20 metres away from the CH line. Boston, right side, through to the half. Black then looks to give it away to Docherty, and they'll wrap it up. And it'll be Khodi, the man who wraps it up. On the short side, Boston puts it on the boot on the last. A well-timed kick, going to go in the in-goal area, picked up by the winger James. And he's been able to be tackled inside the field of play. Scoot from dummy half. That's Green running it. Oh, dancing with the touchline there, but he'll be tackled short of that one. Plays it once again. Back on the inside. That is Nix. Nix will give it away. And there'll be penalised there. The high tackle. So unfortunately a bit of fatigue setting in. We're 23 minutes through the first half. It's 8 points to 0 Central Highlands now. Head and kicking for touch. And not a bad touch finder there, 20 metres away from their own line.
It will set it up for a really interesting second half because there is a strong breeze here and it is in Central Highlands' favour, so it would be an 8 to 10 point breeze. So if it goes into the same score at half time, I think Gladstone and their coaching staff would be confident of turning around in the second half.
I'm really enjoying this game of footy though. Well, it's been a pretty good game from either side and a good little entree to what we'll see in a few weeks' time in Blackwater for the CQ Capras Junior Trials. So it's Fox who runs the ball forward. 32 metres away. Green has a bit of a look at dummy half. He'll then fire it into Chick, who's on the right-hand side of the field. Carno didn't have a look at it there, gone through the hands. And referee Tanner Howard will say knock on, and a scrum will pack. So a few errors are creeping into the game now in this late stage of the first half.
Yeah, possibly a bit of fatigue there. Like we said, the boys are running off a shortened bench. There's 2 on the bench, and obviously Gladstone have got the bigger bench. But this is a great opportunity for Gladstone to put together their shape in good ball and see what they can come up with.
So out the back they'll go, and that'll be Fleming, who'll put a step on 1 and 2. But they're able to wrap him up around the bootlegs then. I think it was Fox who was able to make the tackle. So once again, Peckham-Harris going through him, but Kano's wrapped him up around the ball. 11 metres short, right in the middle of the posts. Boston through then, and they'll throw a little bit of dummy here and be wrapped up. Close to the line they are, Gladstone trailing 8 points to 0. Boston out of dummy half, gets down low, but he's going to fall just short of the line once again. There's space on either side. Central Highlands have bunched up on the line, but it doesn't matter. Tyler Peckham-Harris goes over to score Gladstone's first. 8 points to 4. 5.5 till half time, and Gladstone, well, it's been a long time coming for them, but they finally get over the line. And while either side, unfortunately, the Central Highlands defence on the line was bunched up and they could have gone either way, but instead they just used the big fella and barged over under the posts.
Yeah, young Boston had a crack from dummy half and didn't get there, but he challenged the line, and the number 7 Tase Black, clever little work there. He gave it to the big fella, and Peckham-Harris too hard to stop that close to the line. Anyone that big, he got down low, and he just used his size and strength and crashed over. But they have had better. They've had the better of the exchanges probably about the last 10 to 15 minutes, Cam. So that's probably reward for effort, I think.
So we just wait for a kicking tee. And we'll restart this game. So good kick there from Central Highlands. 8 points to 4 is the score, with Central Highlands ahead. Not too far away from the half-time break. And I'll be wrapped up there. That's Hodgson it is. So they give it away, and that'll be Black once again. Through the hands. Vandermark's coming to the line as the fullback, but they'll wrap him up. Second one. And the ball's been lost. I'll say play on. That's okay. So here we go. One of the front rollers. It is, I think, the number 10 in Smith. Through, but again, Kano's come on down well and wrapped him up 30 metres short. Boston it is. In through into the hands. And Tyler Peckham-Harris it is, but so a wrap up again. So they'll go through. In fact, there's 2.19, so that'll make things interesting. Good old trial match with 2 numbers anyway, so that's our mystery number 19. So they'll fire it through again. Black on the boot. It's going to be too big on caught in goal there well by Ethan James, and they'll bring it up to the 20 for a 7-tackle restart.
Yeah, they're hanging on here, Central Highlands, so they just don't want to leak any more points. They're starting to fatigue, so they need to get to the half-time break. Again, I don't know if he's tapped that properly. Yeah, you got to tap it on your foot, boys, so you can't tap it on your knee. So there we go. We'll see if they can hang on here.
So it'll be Carson Lawrence who'll bring the ball forward, but it's Peckham-Harris who's come out of the line and been wrapped him up. 25 away for the 0. So Green, Kano, what's he going to do? He's going to hit. Oh, and they've got him around the bootlaces there, so he wasn't able to bust through that tackle. Green once again to the Nicks. Nicks then finds Lawrence again. He throws a dummy. And he's still going, trying to bust through the line again, but he'll be wrapped up here, just short of halfway. So Tommy Green has a bit of a look. He'll go to the left-hand side of the field. They'll go back on the inside. Saxon Mitchell now. Wrapped up and inside Gladstone territory now. This will be the 3rd or the 4th tackle in this set of 6. Chick fires it through, and that's the big prop forward, Sam Caranicholas now. And wrapped up on for the 4th tackle now. 40 metres away from the Gladstone line. Short side they go to Chick. He'll put it on the boot. Cleared well. They've got a bit of work to do here, Gladstone, to clean up the scraps. It'll be the fullback, Vandermark, though. He'll pick it up and he'll run it forward. He'll bust through the first line of defence. Here he goes. He stopped once and twice, and, well, it's Braden Conway has come in there for CH alongside Sam Chick to wrap him up there. So I think that's big Peckham-Harris once again who'll run the ball forward. He'll be able to turn around, give the offload away there to Boston. And it'll be wrapped up. Just under 2 minutes to go first half here in Browne Park for this under-13s curtain raiser. 8 points to 4. A good run from the Raiders. And they're still going. And he's made about 15 metres on that carry. Make it about 18 metres. So well done there to the Raiders, as Boston will get it once again. Go to the middle of the field. That's Black. Black then finding another Raiders man as he still goes around. It looks like this is the centre, Mhuka. He wrapped up, so it's the second row of Docherty. So they'll fire it through. The winger in Whittingham is now in to bring the ball forward. Last one here for the Raiders. They're inside Central Highlands territory now as they play it. They'll go back to the open side as Boston fires a pass away into Newman. He fends off 1 and 2. I don't think they know it's the last there, as Hodgson is going to be caught with the ball. And And it'll be a changeover. And unfortunately, the young fellas ripped the headgear off at the moment. Don't know if he's puffed out. They're just going to treat him. So not sure what happened, as the clock won't stop due to it being a trial well.
Nah, yeah, that's the second time the Gladstone Raiders are being caught on the 5th tackle, so I don't know if it's a tactic or it's just a communication issue with all these players going on and off the field, but hopefully the young fella will be alright. He's been attended to there by the trainer, and the CH boys are going for the water. They're definitely feeling it, so we probably won't. We might get 1 or 2 more plays in this half, and maybe an early kick. The fullback, he's been pretty good, Vandermark, the fullback for the Raiders, but he's playing up shallow, so we'll see what they can come up with here.
Good crowd starting to come in here at Browne Park for the big one, and enjoying this curtain raiser clash. Kayano's got it now, and he'll try and run through the defence again. So I'd say this will be all she wrote. I reckon 5 seconds to go. They'll get the last play here as Green will fire it to Chick. Chick looks to get it away then into the front row. Cara Nicholas. Siren goes in the background. He looks for the offload. The ball's gone loose. The referee calls a knock on, and that'll be half time. In a pretty good game of footy in this under 13s curtain raiser. It's Central Highlands 8, leading the Gladstone Raiders 4. Walson, what did you think of the first half? A pretty good display of footy?
Yeah, well, the first half, I thought the Central Highlands side were pretty dominant. They were running with a bit of a tailwind, and they got out to that 8 points to 0 lead on the back of some strong play by Kano. But the Gladstone boys found their wind, and definitely the last 15 to 20 minutes they came back into the game. So it sets it up for a good second half. I know it's a trial match, but I think both sides will be trying to win the game. And the Highlands go in with a 4-point lead at half time, and they'll be looking to hang on to it, but they'll be running into a stiff breeze in the second half, Cam.
They certainly will. We'll have a short half-time break. We'll be back with the second half not too far straight after this. Back here at Browne Park for the under-13s curtain raiser between the Gladstone Raiders and Central Highlands. It's 8 points to 4. We're going to shorten up this second half because of the late start and, of course, the time commitments with the Q Cup and getting the boys out in the middle of the field to warm up. We'll have this game at 25-minute half fair in the second half. I'll re-welcome Walsh and Carlos to the call. It was a good half of footy, and I'm sure Central Highlands will be happy to have a 25-minute half second half period.
Yeah, running into the wind, so the Gladstone boys seem to have found their feet, so they're bridging right up, and they'll be looking to dominate the field position. So it'll be about holding on to the footy, and they've got some strong runners, the Central Highlands side, so it'll be tougher running into this wind, but I think they're capable of holding on to it if they can really rip in.
So they'll work it through here, and that's Kano who's got the footy, and will be wrapped up. So I'll fire it back through. That's Nix going through the hands. Chick it is, and then Cara Nicholas wrapped up around the legs. Now, we will apologise in advance to the Raiders supporters, and we've seen them at halftime change all their jerseys, so we've got no real indication of if it is the right player or not in the jersey. So we're just going to go on the team list that we have, and we'll call the team list that we have, and we will apologise in advance if we do get the players wrong. But of course, this is a trial, as they've been caught on the 5th there, the Central Highlands side. So that'll be the first time, and they've given the ball away 30 metres away. So here we are. This is Trevor King now running the ball forward for the Raiders and tackled 22 metres away from the line. They'll play it. So I'm not sure if that is Boston in a dummy half. It doesn't look like it. I think they've replaced dummy half. So we'll work it through. And they'll give it away. That's Alexander taking it to the line. Long ball away then into the middle of the field. I actually think that is the fullback in Vandermark who has come in and he'll play it. So they give the ball away. Look to show it in the inside. Here they go. They're attacking the right edge, the Gladstone Raiders. And they're wrapped up now. So they'll get it back away again. They'll take it to the line on the boot. Lovely kick. The 7 picks it up and he'll score. It's Black who'll score again to the equaliser. 8-all. 2 minutes gone.
Yeah, the young 17 there. I'm not sure who that is. That might be Boston who's put on the 17, or it might be the 17 we've got listed, Jack Alexander. I'm not sure, but he's wearing a blue headgear, and he's been really sharp, just directing the team around the paddock and putting a nice little grubber for the try there.
Yeah, it was a good little grubber. And Gladstone score the equaliser, 8-all. So it's now around 6:10, so just having a bit of a squiz now to see if the confirmed teams. It is an hour to kick off, so the team should be in the in there. I think there is a change to the there's a couple of changes to the CQ Capras side tonight. Kenny Toffalau out for Junior Kirasomi, who's come in off the extended bench, and it looks like Aaron Flanagan's come in for Phil Nardi, so a couple of changes there for the Capras.
Yeah, Flanagan's been playing some really good footy. You would have seen him, Cam, in the 9s. He played for Warrabinda Warriors, who was the side that he was drafted to, and I am not surprised by that change. Phil Nardi's a big body. And Flanagan comes in and he's a lot more mobile, and I think you need that mobility when you play the Ipswich Jets. Kenny Toffalau had not the best night with his hands last week against Mackay, so he might be paying for that. And so a couple of late changes there by Coach Williams.
For the Ipswich Jets, they're 1-16. Their only change is Mitch Carpenter's come in for Mitch Coyner, so that's the change there. Well, they're not 1-17 as such. They're all over the place. It's not a good look for a commentator at all, having 1-14, 3-17, 5. They keep going, but the only change there is off the bench. Mitch Carpenter's coming in for Mitch Coyner, but otherwise unchanged. Bit of rain starting to spit here at Browne Park.
Yeah, some light rain coming down, but doesn't look too ominous. Hopefully the clouds, with this wind, clouds will blow over, and as I say that, it's getting a little bit heavier.
Getting very much heavier. We're just making some quick changes here to cover the technology. She's all sorted now. It'll blow over very quickly there anyway, but back to the action, 8 apiece as they pack the scrum out the back of the scrum. A good ball, unfortunately it's spilt there from the centre, and CH will pick it up once again. And they'll get it away. Chick it is to Conway. He'll throw the step on, but good tackle there by Mhuka for the Gladstone Raiders. 38 metres away. Green has a bit of a look at dummy half. Fires it to the open side then. Kara Nicholas now. We'll bring it forward. And we'll wrap it up. So he'll then play it to Green. Oh, it's gone straight through the mitts of Nix. Don't think it actually touched the mitts at all. He dives on it. 35 away, Green. And it'll be from Lawrence to Chick. Chick running it at the line, and it'll finally be wrapped up. 35 metres away. Lawrence again takes it to the line, throws the dummy before hitting the line. This will be the last one now, and they'll play it 25 metres away from the line. Green had a dummy half, cross-field kick, bouncing around, picked up there. Great chase from Kano, though, and he wraps the winger up to ensure he goes nowhere. So we'll play it again now. Mysterious dummy half here. Has come in and is wrapped up for the Raiders. So we've got, at the moment, Sam Kara Nicholas is... Kara Nicholas is in the background here at the moment. And so the game will stop as he gets treated out there in the middle of the park.
Yeah, he took a run before. He's been pretty impressive, Kara Nicholas. The ball was passed behind him, and he showed really good hands and skills for a big man. And after he took the run, which was a pretty good run, he's just reaching for his left leg there. So as we see him get to his feet, I don't know whether he'll play any further part in the game. He's limping off. Hopefully he's okay. Doesn't look too serious, Cam, but I don't know if he'll see any more time today.
You never know, that magic water that comes out fixes a lot of problems.
Yeah, well, and particularly with only a two-man bench, we'll see how they go. Of course, they wouldn't put the welfare of the player at jeopardy. You know, it's not worth it for a trial, and 13 years old. So.
Oh, here they go. Oh, Conway got a hand to him. Still going. It's a foot race. As they go through Kano. He's probably the only man who can stop him as they race away here. It's our mysterious dummy half who scores for the Raiders. We know we don't think it's Jayden Boston. He played the first half. They did make a change at half time, but well done to the Gladstone Raiders there who've run away to score to make it 12 points to 8.
Yeah, great try there. And as we noticed late in the second half, Cam, they are starting to tire a bit, the Central Highlands boys, where there is a discrepancy in benches here. So the Gladstone boys seem to be running home with this, and I'd expect them to go on with the job here.
Have a quick look at the radar. There's not much on there. Just a little bit of a sprinkle, looking like it's going to be a fairly clear affair. It was a rather warm one in town today here in Rockhampton, hitting 33 degrees. It's 29 now. You can feel a little bit of humidity in the air. Again, big thanks to the One Life Centre who are bringing you round 4 of the Intrust Super Cup between the Jets and the CQ Capras tonight here at Browne Park. I'm expecting a bumper crowd for this Easter Thursday clash.
Yeah, we've got a great vantage point here on the roof of the main stand of Browne Park, and there's some great new signs there, Cam. I can see the CQ Capras seem to have been doing their work, attracting the sponsors. We've got Kev's Fasteners and Construction Supplies, SMW, Coltrane, Ryco and NRG Industrial. So it's good to see so many local businesses getting behind our premier rugby league side in central Queensland.
Oh, it looks terrific, Walson, I think. Looks outstanding here at Browne Park. So they play the ball again here, the Raiders. They're on the attack. So they run through and they'll be wrapped up 30 metres away. So I'll give the ball away. And they continue to run forward here. Another strong run from the Raiders. They're only 12 metres away. 15 to go in this game. They're going to go on the far side. That's Alexander. He puts it on the boot. A bit of a chase, but unfortunately it goes dead Well, the skin of the teeth, though, to go dead, and we're going up, and the rain is coming down. The wind's not helping it, but again, it only a bit of a sprinkle here. Not much on the radar, though, so I think it is only just a little bit of a sprinkle. The Satchel Highlands side. He just been levelled by our number 9 in the headgear there. He's really played well, the number 9 off the bench for the Raiders. He's come on in the second half.
Yeah, I'd love to know his name and give him a rap because he's been outstanding in a defence and attack. So
you've got Robbie Peters' number you can send a message to. So they'll wrap them up here. 35 metres away. Kano it is. Will play the ball through the hands. Nix gives it away right to the line. It was Tranberg. And here we go. Ball's alive. Gladstone. It's a bit of a foot race here with the soccer. And they get down and score. Good awareness there from the Raiders. And they'll score their 4th try here tonight. 16 points to 8 should be the score.
Yep, that's the way the game's trending. The CH boys, a couple of them struggling to get back now. They started really well. They're short on numbers and just swarming defence there. Poor Sierra. And the Gladstone boys have come up with the try. Nice effort there too by the number 19. Again, we're not quite sure of the names because the Gladstone boys have been changing jerseys, but it was a good effort. He kicked it a couple of times and then dived on the ball and got the try.
So they're just going to regroup here, the CH side. They're not going to rush this at all. Now the scoreboard here says 12 points to 8, but I'm fairly sure while they've scored 4 tries to 2.
Yeah, the scoreboard attendant might be having one of those steak burgers down there, Cam.
They smell pretty good. I think the Rotary Club do it here at Browne Park.
No, hang on. He's just given 4 points to the Highlands.
Oh, has he? We should deserve it. But no, well done to both teams. We've got to give a big rap to the 2 under-13s teams that have made their way down here to play this game tonight. I think it's awesome to have the junior footy here tonight as a bit of a curtain raiser. It must be a big thrill for these 12 and 13-year-old boys to have their hit out here tonight.
Oh, it's a great park to play on, Browne Park, and to get to play in front of probably the biggest crowd they've ever played in front of would be exciting for the boys. So I know that a few Capra's boys, Tyson White spoke to the Gladstone Raiders prior to the game, and the captain in Jack Madden for the CH boys. He had a bit of a chat to those, and I guess unfortunately wasn't able to didn't have the privilege of listening to those chats, but no doubt would have spoke about junior footy and what they were doing at that age and where they are now. Yeah, it's great to see those boys giving back too. It's a really important part of the Capras and the pathway that they provide for junior players in Central Queensland. Oh, well done there by the fullback Dylan Fox. Done well to wrap that up. He wasn't pressured, so they ran out of dummy half. That's Julius Malone, who's now been wrapped up, and he's been rather quiet in the game, but the ball really hasn't gone to the right-hand side too much. They've really just worked the middle third for a lot of the game. So you're someone who has been busy. That man out there with the number 19, Lockie Nix from the Dysart Bulls, he's been very, very busy at half-back tonight. So I'll bring it forward. I think that's Tranberg who ran the ball forward. So there's Nix again going through, and that's Lawrence driven back in. A great tackle there from the Raiders in Baran. Last one for Highlands. Chick uses his hands, gets it away. They've got to offload. That'll be James Khodi, who got the ball away. Braden Conway puts it on the boot, snaps a little bit of a banana. It's picked up. Here we go. The 9. He's away. Kenny. No, they're going to wrap him up. Well done. And he's wrapped up. There we go. Thank you very much to our sideline eye tonight off the mower. Matty Pacey saying Tyler Harris is our number 9. So thanks very much for that input there, Matty Pacey. He's played Queensland. Must have played Queensland Schoolboys 12s last year, maybe. Well, he's pretty handy. Oh, very, very handy. So here we go. They'll continue to work the ball around as they still go. So they finally put on the deck now, 5 metres away from the line. 10 to go here at Browne Park. I'll go through. It's the half-back there. Long cut-out ball away to the winger, which he gets there. Does he? He does. The referee points to the spot, 10 to go, and it is Gladstone who will lead 20 points to 8 now. Yeah, that scoreboard attendance definitely gone over to get a steak burger, Cam. It's still 12 points to 8, but it is a trial match, so it's not a big deal. But as we could see there, the Gladstone boys, nice ball movement. They've definitely been more impressive in this second half, but CH seem to have dropped off on their line speed in defence. Admittedly, of course, they don't have the same amount of players, so it'd be tough for the boys to keep it up. But young Nix has been impressive. If the CQ coaches are watching, they'd definitely be impressed by what he's done, and definitely Tyler Harris.
Well, I'm kind of in a pickle here. I don't remember who the 13s coach is from the CQ Capras for the junior side this year, but I'd expect them to be here, I reckon. Yeah, you might be right.
Oh, I know Darren Shadlow's coaching one of the sides this year.
I think he might be
there and thereabouts. So I saw him walk in earlier with Luke Peachy. So a couple of local constabulary might be here to watch a bit of footy, or they might be here to watch a bit of junior footy.
So here we go. I'll throw some dummies here and they'll run forward. This is Kyle Whittingham. So good. Braden Conway's the one who wraps him up, and he'll be finally put on the deck.
He's very aggressive, young Braden Conway, and he's a little bit hurt here, so might have done something to his leg, or he might be just a little bit winded.
We know, of course, Conway name in the Blackwater Bluff area, a very name that's involved, synonymous with rugby league and successful rugby league players as well, the Conway family.
Yep, so is this young fella related to the Bluff Conway boys that you know of?
I'm pretty sure he is. So he's going to come off, and new player coming on for the Raiders. So I'll play it here, the Raiders. They'll give it away. That's Lockie Baran coming through. He'll get the offload away, still going, and that's Rhys Chadburn who comes on for the Raiders now.
I think that's young Boston who's back on. He's wearing the number 11, but he does have those distinguishable shorts.
Yeah, you might be right. And the ball will bounce dead, and we'll be back again to the 24-7 tackle restart. And that number 9, Tyler Harris, I think is the man. Thanks to Matty Pacey for that one. So it'll be Lawrence will take the tap for the Central Highlands side, and we'll give it away. Tommy Green, he puts a step on, but out of the line. It's none other than Baran who makes the tackle 25 metres away. So Green it is, goes to the left-hand side. Chick then giving it away, and they're picked up, and that's Tranberg on the deck. 22 metres away. He's come off the bench, of course. It's been a change, and I think our young fella who was injured out there is back on. So 30 metres away from the line. Green has a bit of a look. He'll go to the open side. Chick it is. Firing it away again this time. That's Khodi. Look for the offload. Lovely ball away. Chick throws the dummy looking for the offload. He couldn't get it, and he's wrapped up 35 metres away from his line. So it'll be Walters through to Green. Green, Carno. Carno, what's he going to do? He's going to put the steps on. Try and put the burners on then. Here he goes. He beats the first line. He gets the offload away, though. They throw the dummy. It's Fox who's got the ball now. And he'll be wrapped up on halfway. This will be tackle 4 in this set of 6. And they work it. Get a penalty as well. I think it was just a tad too long. And the referee out in the middle, Tanner Howard, agrees. Put the breeze against them. They are going to kick for touch, though, so it's going to have to be a mighty kick here from Chick, which it finds the touchline well. With those new signs that have gone up here at Browne Park, which you've no doubt seen, which are great, as we said, thanks to the sponsors, Kev's Fasters and Construction Supplies, SMW, Coltrane, Ryco, 24-7 and NRG. So it's Carno, Sky McCarno, who brings the ball forward now. The rain's getting a bit heavier here at Browne Park now, so he'll be wrapped up. They'll give it away. Now that's Tranberg who hits the line. And he'll be wrapped up on the deck. 10 metres away from the line. Green it is, who's got the ball now. He'll look to go back on the inside. A bit of a juggle. It's bounced backwards. Referee says play on. Picked up by the Highlands side once again. And they'll be tackled 15 metres away. So here they go. They're going to fire it away. Through the hands they go once and twice. but they haven't been able to pass it. 4th tackle now coming up here for the Highlands side. So it's Green at dummy. It's actually, it looks like Lawrence at dummy half. Green's going to kick it. They're taken very, very well by the Gladstone Raiders side, though. In a good set of 6, they completed well there, the CH side, but a good defensive set from the Gladstone side. Well,
yeah, there's some sweeping rain that's coming across the field. It is fairly light, but it's constant at the moment, so we'll see where that goes, whether it's going to have effect on the main game. Oh, he's just juggled that. And he's had a good game, this ref, since he came on. It's quite clear that he refs at a higher level.
Well, Tana usually does the 20s games here at Browne Park, and he's been part of the elite program now for a few years. So he's done a very, very good job, and obviously it would be probably the highest quality of referee that these boys have had. So here we go. Fox it is with the ball. So Lawrence it is a dummy half. He'll play it. Fire away, Green. Green playing at a half-back roll. Throws the dummy. Here we go. Still goes. Can he get the ball down over the line? The answer is no. He's short. So which way are they going to go? They're going to go short side. They get the ball down and score. Over on the eastern side of the field. I'm not quite sure. Black headgear. I think it might be Dylan Fox who scored. And Central Highlands hit back to make it 20 points to 12 in Gladstone's favour. Just under 4 minutes to go.
Yeah, nice work by Fox. He had a bit of work to do. It was just a simple play. They took him on. They had a crack on the blind side, and then they had a really short blind side, and the hooker decided to pass it to him, but there was nothing doing, and he showed plenty of elusiveness there to sneak his way through and slam the ball down for the try. And they're buzzing a bit at the moment. They think they're a chance here. There's only 3.5 minutes on the clock. They think they can go bang bang and salvage a draw from this game.
It's only 2 tries the difference. Strap yourselves in. What do we got coming up? So they've gone for a kick. It's gone about 30 metres right into the breadbasket of Kano. We surrendered there for a second and said, actually, no, I want to go for a run. So we'll bring it up. Rain's gone now. So like a Melbourne shower here. It'll have a shower for 5 minutes and then be all good. And I'll be put on the ground here 35 metres away. So looks as if Nix now is going to go into dummy half at the moment. Chick will run it. He'll throw the dummy. Run once. Get the offload away. Unfortunately for young Khodi, I think he's knocked on there. But that's all right. He's played pretty well. Tall lad from Emerald Brothers as well.
Yeah, I'm not sure whether the boys are looking up at the scoreboard and they think this is a drawn game, because it's 12-all at the moment on the scoreboard. But we do know, of course, that Gladstone are leading 20 points to 12. Of course, when they play normally at home, they probably don't normally have the scoreboard and the clock to look up to, Cam, do they? Or
most games they do.
Yep.
I guess for these guys with the 11s, if they were part of the 11s last year, they wouldn't have, because the under 11s don't score. They would have only had a clock to look at. But we all know that junior footy, as much as it's not points, the kids know what the score is. Don't worry about that one. From about under 7s onwards, they know who scored and who hasn't. So it's a fact of life, that one. So the Gladstone side here, with just under 2 minutes remaining in the game, will make their way forward. We are wrapped up and on the deck, 12 metres away from the line. Dummy half scoot now, and that looks like Baran there who takes a scoot. So firing it back here through the line. They throw the dummy there, the Gladstone Raiders. Through Smith it is, and he'll play it 2 metres out from the line. On the boot, deflected off Central Highlands. It wasn't played at. I'd say this will be the last one still, I think. They throw it through the hands. They must score here. Unlucky for Julius Maloney. Tried hard to push him into touch, but the referee will point to the spot. Just under a minute to go. Gladstone have iced the cake here. 24 points to 12.
yeah, great footy by the Gladstone Raiders boys. Bit of a ricochet off the kick, and they saw that the ball had to get out to the left-hand side, and they threw it out. The boys are rushing up. They want to get as much footy as they can in while they're on the big stage here, Cam.
So they'll kick off here. 23 seconds to go. It's been a good game of footy. Great for these two teams to have a run here at Browne Park tonight, and we've seen a pretty good contest here. Sky Meccano has been one of the best for the Central Highlands side. 9 seconds to go. Baran's in at dummy half once again, so they'll fire it through. They're going to kick. Tell you what, they can kick for 12 and 13-year-olds. A bit of work to do for Dylan Fox. He'll surrender. And the siren will go. It's all she wrote. Gladstone will win 24 points to 12. But it's been a good game of footy, Wilson Carlos, and well done to both teams. It was really good to have them here tonight.
Yeah, excellent effort by both sides, and it's great to see, as we said, the Central Queensland Capras getting behind the local representative sides. Gladstone and Central Highlands have both had to travel significant distance to get here tonight on a Thursday afternoon, and they play on the big field, and it's a great experience for them, and good luck, boys, with your trials in a couple of weeks' time.
Yeah, certainly 100% behind you, Wal. Player of the match for either side, I think the Capras are going to do. Well, I think for the Central Highlands side, it's got to be Sky Meccano. Yeah,
Meccano's been unbelievable, actually. His defence was really good. He was really aggressive early, and some of his carries have been excellent. So he crashed over for a try there early in the first half. Gladstone Raiders had some outstanding talent as well.
Yeah, they certainly did. So as we wrap up here just about, we'll have a separate stream very, very soon for the next game. We'll have a separate link. Well, are we interviewing? Yes? No? So...
Okay, yeah, we've got the Hastings Deerings under-20 CQ Capras coach here, Damien Seabold. Seabs, how's the season been going so far?
Yeah, mate, it's really good, actually. We've got a lot of good talent in the area, as you know yourself, and even with the number of boys in this age group that have moved away to have a crack with NRL clubs or with different Hastings Deering clubs, mate, we've still got a lot of depth here, and we're doing some really good things. We're 2 from 3, and the only game we went down and we lost by 2 points, so very happy with how the boys are going.
Excellent, mate. So a bit of a break for the Easter holidays. Who do you play next up?
We've got Ipswich, so that's in Yeppoon next Saturday afternoon. I think we play at 3:45. Now, Ippy 1 win, 1 loss, and a draw. So, I've had a look at how they go, and I think if we play like we did, especially in the first 50 minutes last week, we'll definitely go very close.
Yeah, mate, and your co-coach Neil Becker, you're lucky you weren't here earlier because he had to ref the game. The ref didn't turn up and he reffed the game. So he did a pretty good job until the normal under-20s coach took over.
Turned up.
Yeah.
Mate, he actually told me that he'd been approached by the Intrust Super referees to see if he could jump on the line, so he must have done a fair job.
Yeah, well, he was out there. He wasn't running too much, but he got him around the park.
He'd be a good video referee.
Mate, you're also in the position where you help out with the Intrust Super Cup side. How do you think they're going to go tonight against the Ipswich Jets?
Yeah, mate, I think they'll actually give it a really good shake. Just the way they like to play, I think it'll rattle the Jets. So, the Jets are one of those teams where if everything's sticking for them, they score a lot of points. But if they get hustled, they rush some decisions and they don't get the opportunity to drift across field looking for players to come back under them and push into space, they start to get a little bit rattled and they make some silly decisions. So I think we can certainly put some pressure on them.
And a couple of late changes there, mate. Kenny Toffelau dropped for... Was that a drop or is there an injury there?
Man, to be honest, I'm not 100% sure with Kenny. He had a couple of rough nights over the last 2 weekends, so might have been just an opportunity to give someone else a chance and get Kenny some confidence. However, I know Aaron Flanagan's also a late inclusion, so I'm looking forward to seeing how Aaron goes. He's all energy, mate. You'll like the way he plays.
Yeah, I saw him play a bit. He actually got drafted to the Warrabinda Warriors, so he played a little bit for them in the Nines, and I was pretty impressed by his energy levels, and it didn't surprise me to see him come in for Phil Nardi just to go a little bit lighter against the Ipswich Jets, who play, as you said, an exciting brand of footy.
Yeah, definitely, mate. I think if you have too many big bodies in the middle, they'll look to expose that. So, yeah, Aaron will certainly do a good job there.
Right, Seebs, we'll let you go. Thanks for coming along. We've got young Maury here who plays, Blake Moore. He plays for the side. How you going, Blake? have a bit of a chat to Blake now. Blake, last time I saw you playing, mate, you were playing for the Rockhampton Grammar first side in the grand final, mate. You come a long way. How's your footy going this year?
Yeah, good. Really enjoying it. I've got a bit of a positional change this year. I've always played in the halves, but I played fullback the last couple of games, and yeah, really enjoyed it so far.
Yeah, I saw your game last week against Mackay. With the fullback role, you get to run a lot more, and I thought your running game was really good. Are you enjoying that aspect of the game?
Yeah, definitely it is. You definitely get the pill in your hands a lot more at fullback, obviously in kick returns, and then obviously floating out the back when we're running set plays and that. But yeah, really enjoying it, and yeah, I love get my hands on the ball.
Now you're a representative touch footy player. How does has there been any clashes this year with your under-20s commitments and your touch footy, or where are you at with that thing?
Yeah, well, actually it's been fairly lucky. I was away for round one of the competition. I was down in Coffs Harbour playing in the Elite 8 series, which was pretty awesome because I debuted down there. And but yeah, so far it's fallen into place pretty well, so hopefully for the rest of the season it continues to happen that way.
Good stuff, mate. And all the under-20s, have they come along tonight to support the Intrust Super Cup side?
Yeah, we're all about, I suppose, a sort of bit of a family as a club here. So yeah, all us boys are down here. We'll be supporting the Capras boys, and hopefully they can come away with a win.
Great work, mate. Thanks for coming along and having a chat to us, and good luck for your season, Blake.
Cheers, thanks Blake, thanks Wal for that. We'll take a break. We'll come back with the Intrust Super Cup call of the Capras and the Ipswich Jets for round 4 of the Intrust Super Cup. All thanks to the One Life Centre. Next, here on Capras TV.